If there is one room in this house that has taken me the longest to actually complete, it would have to be Stella's room. For some reason, I started this project so many times and could never seem to complete it. And this clip was actually from like 2 years ago in 2023 when we were just getting her room all organized. She had some drawers that were terrible and I swapped them out for this big storage unit and then put some cubes in there for storage. And then about a year later, I decided to put up her bookshelves that I had from our last apartment. I already had these bookshelves, but just never took the time to put them up again because I have just been so lazy with Stella's room. We finally got those shelves up, and then I also went ahead and installed this little sign that I got personalized with Stella's name from Pottery Barn. And then once those bookshelves were up, I went ahead and added in all of her books. You would think the bookshelf being installed would have been a motivation to finish her room, but it wasn't. I decided to tackle some other projects around the house, the most recent one being this laundry room that you kind of get a sneak peek of here. But then I took a pause, and this is where we've been at since then. Her bookshelf is still going strong, but the rest of the room is a little bit unorganized. And besides the fact that the room clearly isn't cleaned up in this clip, the walls are also bare, and it's just really boring. There's no theme in here, and the space is just clearly unfinished. So I decided that it is finally time to transform this space. First things first, we need to get rid of this little desk. Stella is 8 now, and she is a tall 8-year-old, so this desk is just way too short. I also knew that I wanted to keep the rainbow theme from our last apartment, but I needed to go bigger and better. So I got this wall mural off of Amazon, and it's pretty much like a half rainbow. I started by rolling that out, and this particular one that I bought, you had to cut the pieces off and go ahead and line them up, and that's pretty much what I did. This is what it's looking like when it's laid out, and then it was time to pretty much get to work and get this taped up on the wall. This is a peel and stick wallpaper, so you literally just go right in with that. And I use this thing called Easy Hang. It's a spray, and if you have textured walls, Easy Hang is a must to get your wallpaper to stick. I love wallpaper, and if you saw my laundry room in that quick little clip, I had wallpaper in there, and it's peel and stick as well. But getting that to stick and adhere to textured walls is really difficult. So get you some Easy Hang and use some type of squeegee to help you flatten that out as you go. The rainbow was coming along nicely, and I took a break, and when I came back upstairs, I literally saw Dee outside on the roof cleaning Stella's window because it had so much of that green algae looking stuff, and it was just a mess. And the rainbow was coming from the window, and coming from all that green stuff, it was just not cute. So she went ahead and cleaned the window on the outside and the inside, and it looks so much better than it did before. And now I am back to installing this rainbow mural. This mural did not come with many instructions, so we really tried our best to lay it out before we started and get everything to line up, but we still ran into some trouble. I'm so annoyed because when I read the reviews for this thing on Amazon, people were complaining about how it was confusing and things didn't line up and everything. And we had to lay everything out and figure it out at the beginning because it just was off. We came up with the plan, and now this is what the end of the rainbow looks like. It doesn't match up. So we're trying to pretty much figure out a solution for this. Not sure what to do here, but yeah, I'm thinking the only thing that we can do is figure out for something that can hide that.
I have an idea. The clouds. Clouds are associated with the end of the rainbow.
Yeah.
So we can put like, we can leave this, the bed can go where it's supposed to go, and it'll be like 2 clouds here.
So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm probably just gonna finish adding this last piece and then improvise from there.
What we can do.
Despite this little hiccup, I decided to complete the rainbow anyway and figure out a solution later. So this is pretty much what we were working with, and I just moved on to the next step, which is this little reading nook. So I got this little canopy off of Amazon, and as you can see, of course, the theme is rainbow. So we went with a little rainbow canopy that had these little hanging clouds, and I just want to hang that right underneath our little rainbow arch because this is going to be a reading nook. So I used this fish hook, well, these little clear string. I don't know if it's called fishing hook, but I don't know why I just said that. But anyway, I attached that up to the ceiling so that it would be clear and look like it was floating. And then we had this giant bean bag that my sister actually got for college and then passed down to Stella. Stella loved using it at her Nana's house, so my mom told me to bring it over here, and that's what I did. I got these little cloud lamps from IKEA years ago. Again, one of the times when I was doing Stella's room and then stopped. I was considering putting them on the wall to cover up the mistake in the rainbow. All right, it's day 2, and all I've been able to think about is this rainbow situation. It's bothering me so bad, and the OCD in me needs it to be fixed. So I actually had these floating rainbows that I got from Amazon. They're these little shelves, and it was a 3-pack, so I have a few of them, and I spent the last few minutes organizing Stella's bookshelf and picking out books that would fit on this that she also likes to read, like real chapter books. So I got some of those, and then the last one is really tiny, so I just put a couple books that she probably won't ever touch, but it's just for show. So I think I'm gonna try to hang those right now because I just cannot look at that anymore, and I think it makes sense to have these shelves hanging right there because that's where she would actually read anyway, so she could just grab a book and go. So as you can see, I ditched the IKEA cloud lamps because I just hated how the cord was hanging on the wall, and instead I'm installing these little cloud shelves that I got from Amazon. They were super easy to put up on the wall, and I'm gonna be linking everything that I can find for you guys in the description box below, but I just went ahead and got those installed and hung up and then loaded up a few books on them, and this was the perfect way to disguise the mishap with the rainbow. You literally cannot tell. This literally worked so well. Unless you are staring at the wall and analyzing it, there's no way that you're gonna notice that we had a little mistake. Okay, that looks so much better. I still did not give up on the IKEA cloud lamps just yet. I just thought they were so cute, but I don't know, the hanging cord was just really bothering me. So we are moving on to curtains. I got these little gold curtain rods with a little sunbeam on the ends, and I got these curtains from Amazon, and they had like a starry effect when you close them. So cute. Stella loved them.
Hi guys, my name is Stella. I will show you my room.
Comment below if you're an OG and remember that room tour from when Stella was so tiny in our last apartment. But I included that clip just to show you some of the art that she had in her old room and how I'm repurposing it in her new room, because again, we are keeping the rainbow theme. So I wanted to elevate those canvas prints that I had in her room before by getting some frames off of Amazon. Framing canvases can be so expensive, so I found DIY frames from Amazon and I went ahead and added those, and it just elevates these pictures so much. As you can see, it looks so much more expensive with an actual frame on it, and I went with gold, of course, because always gold. Stella also takes art classes, and I knew as soon as I was coming up with the design for her room that we had to include some of her art, and I wanted to give her a little mini art gallery just so she knows how important her own work is and that she can create masterpieces too. And I picked some of my faves from her collection. She also picked some of her faves, and then I just went ahead and put them in some gold frames. This is how the art looked all framed. I'm obsessed with this, and we also framed 2 of her space posters. And then I went ahead and got rid of this old dresser from her room. So as you can see, this dresser is beat up. It's actually from her nursery, so it's time to let it go. And I went ahead and got a new one off of Amazon. I'm honestly not too happy with the dresser that I got. I feel like these pieces of furniture these days, they just don't hold anything. There's no space. They're a little bit flimsy. So we'll probably upgrade in a year or 2, but it was just just a quick cheap dresser off of Amazon, and I just got one that matched the room. Once again, I have taken a break from working on this room, but today is the day. I'm gonna get it done. I have all of the art for Stella's walls framed and ready to go. I put together her dresser, as you saw, put that up. I put together her desk, which was really quick, and I have that. Her chair arrived in the mail from Amazon, so that's downstairs. I have some shelves, and we need to rearrange the room. So I think that's where we're gonna start. I'm gonna take everything off of her bed, gonna get rid of this old rug. We're going to rearrange the furniture just to make sure that everything is gonna fit how I think it's gonna fit, and then start putting things on the walls and get going. So let's get started. With everything getting an upgrade, I am also gonna get rid of this comforter. It does match the theme, and I bought it like 2 years ago when I was in the process of redecorating, but Stella stained it, and at this point I just want to start fresh. And I'm also getting rid of this rug, which I also bought when we first bought the house, and I actually hate it now. I think it looks so terrible, and it's also stained. So let's get rid of all of that and just clean up a little bit. I really wanted to reorganize the furniture in this room just to make things more cohesive and allow them to flow better, and also to make space for a desk that I got Stella. In the process of moving things around, Lego stitch fell off of the dresser, and Stella was very upset about that, but this is what we're working with now, and I have a whole empty wall on the other side now. So I'm gonna go ahead and install some curtains before I bring in the new furniture. I didn't install the curtains on this side, so just going ahead and hanging up that curtain rod and these rainbow curtains again. With the curtains up, I was able to bring in Stella's desk, and I am really excited about this. Now Stella has a big girl desk, and after I moved out her little kid one, she was using my office for months, and I just hated it because she was always leaving stuff in there. So I'm so happy that she now has her big girl desk where she can do her homework and her artwork and all of that good stuff. We are getting closer to the end, so it's time to start getting some art up on the walls. I'm hanging up these canvases that we framed, and they look so good. I hang these right above each other, and then we're gonna do the ice cream one right above her bed. And I think this looks so nice. I just love how these watercolor popsicles perfectly match her watercolor rainbow without even trying. Yes, it's really giving all the vibes. So this is the corner that I decided to use for Stella's little art gallery. So I'm getting her pieces all set up right here. And I know that I keep saying how obsessed I am with everything in this room, but I just love this corner because I just think it's so cool to be able to look up on the wall and see your own work, and it looks good. It just really looks good. I also added this neon rainbow light that she already had, and then on the other wall, we're gonna hang up those two space posters. So going right along with the theme, I found these cloud shelves, and I think that this works perfectly right here on this wall, one above the other. So I just went ahead and hung those. For the curtains, I got these little gold hooks, and I'm just screwing those right into the wall. I just feel like it elevates the curtains just a little bit because when they were just hanging, I wasn't too sure how much I liked them, but the gold hooks just make it look a little bit better, especially because they're short. I really wanted these to be floor length, and I ordered the wrong size, but I ordered them like 2 years ago, so of course I couldn't return, and I think that that worked out perfectly. I also found this little stuffy holder that hooks right over the door, and I got that from Amazon as well. Stella loves her stuffies, and she has so many, but they were taking up too much space in her toy box, so this is a perfect storage solution. Now it was time to just get everything nice and organized. I cleaned up her shelving a little bit and just going ahead and staged it so that it looked a lot cuter than before, and I want to get rid of all of this clutter off of her little storage unit, so I made a basket dedicated to all of her bracelet making supplies and went ahead and cleaned that off, and that area already looked so much better. As As if Stella's reading nook couldn't get any cuter, I came up with an idea for it, and I found this little standing lamp light thing from Amazon, and you pretty much just connect it all together and then plug it right in, and it creates the perfect ambiance for reading time. This is definitely Stella's favorite corner of the room. She loves to read, and she's always sitting right here on this little beanbag, so I just thought that I could make this space even cuter, and it definitely worked. Really wanted to make this space super special for her, and I feel like this little LED light just really takes it up a notch. This side of the room is pretty much done now, so let's move on to changing these sheets out and getting a new rug in here. I found this rug on Amazon, and I think it's perfect because it's not a literal rainbow, but it has all of the colors that we need, and I love a groovy pattern, so that was so cute, and it is also so soft. I already had this rainbow sheet set, so I put that on, and then I got her a new rainbow comforter, and it's just a little bit more simple and understated. At this point, we are ready for finishing touches, so of course I went over to Home Goods for all of the cutesy stuff, like this little pencil holder. I also got this calendar and clock and a lamp so that when she's sitting and doing her homework, she has some light. I got some little organizers and organized her drawers with all of her supplies and her crayons and pencils and just everything she could need. And then we got this little spinning stool from Amazon. I didn't want a rolling chair because I knew she would be rolling all around the room, so that one was perfect. And then I also got a little laundry basket that is more discreet and skinny and fits right into that spot perfectly. We staged these shelves with some books, a little ukulele, and some other decor that she already had in her room. She's getting a little older, so some jewelry holders and trinkets on her desk were perfect. And this basket was perfect also for putting all of her toiletries and things that she uses on a daily basis that I didn't want to clutter her dresser with. Though it took some time, this room was truly a labor of love, and I am so happy with the way that it turns out. Just a reminder, this is what Stella's room looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. Stella loves her new room design so much. She was so excited when she finally walked in and saw it complete after the last 3 years of working on it. But I would love to know what you guys think as well, so let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next video.